Carson Adams. Tonight you're joining us on CHS Evening News. We have a correspondent in the field named Blake Owen. He's going to go over the year of 1861 and what all has happened during this year.
Thanks, Carson. Today I'm live at Fort Sumter. Today I'll be reviewing the year 1861. This was the year Abe Lincoln was sworn into office, but was already facing many problems such as the Confederate States. The Confederate States at the time consisted of South Carolina, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas, with Jefferson Davis as president. Though war had not been declared yet, this fort behind me was attacked by the Confederacy.
Thank you, Blake. As you can see, lots has happened this year. Now we're going to Lissa. She is a correspondent in the field who is going to go over this year, 1862.
Thanks, Carson. I'm here in Sharpsburg, Maryland, reviewing the year of 1862. On February 22nd, Jefferson Davis was inaugurated for a second time as President of the Confederate States of America. He was previously inaugurated as President on February 18, 1861, where he stayed until May 5, 1865. June 1st, General Robert E. Lee took command of the Army of Northern Virginia. April 4th, slavery was abolished in the District of Columbia. Also in 1862, on June 19th, Lincoln signed a law prohibiting slavery in the Western Territories. September 22nd was when President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed slaves. Although it did not free all of the slaves, it was a major turning point in the war. The Homestead Act was signed by President Lincoln on May 20th. Lincoln also approved the Morrill Land Grant Act on July 2nd. One last major event in 1862 was the Battle of Antietam, which was fought right where I'm standing. This was a major turning point for the war, with Lee withdrawing to Virginia. And that's all for this year, and back to you, Carson.
Thank you, Lissa. Now we're going to Owen, who has 1863. He's going to tell you a bit about what has happened all of this year. There's been lots that's happening this year.
Hey guys, it's Owen here with 1863. We start off January 1st with Lincoln's signature on the Emancipation Proclamation. After that we have July 1st and July 3rd, where Gettysburg starts and ends. Next up on the list is July 29th, when Queen Victoria redeclares Britain's policy of neutrality. Finally, on November 19th, we have the Gettysburg Address, delivered by your very own Abraham Lincoln. Back to you.
Thank you, Owen. Now we're going to Logan. She's in the field, and she's going to tell you a bit about 1864. This year was an election year, so you can bet that a lot happened.
Thanks, Carson. I'm here in Washington, D.C., going over 1864's events. First, we have the promotion of Ulysses S. Grant to command the entire Union force. He'll be the last general we see Lincoln promote, and the general who sees the end of the war. This is a crucial year because with the war going on, the draft's been going on for a while now, and people are getting fed up. In fact, in the South, many people are resisting the draft, deserting the army, and causing riots, making the Union's goal that much easier to reach. In other news, Sherman's army found 30,000 dying Union soldiers at Andersonville's prison camp. This has boosted morale and was another great victory for the Union. Now, this year was also an election year. The candidates were George McClellan, a Democrat, and Abraham Lincoln, running for his second term, a Republican. Since most of the Democratic states have left the Union, Lincoln won by a landslide with 88% of the vote, while McClellan only got the remaining 12%. Back to you, Carson.
Thank you, Logan. Now we're going to Hunter Reed. He's going to tell us a bit about 1865. Lots has happened this year, from everything from the president being shot to the end of the war. Now to Hunter.
Alright, so am I going?
Go.
Alright. Thanks, Carson. On March 2nd, Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated for his second term. On March 13th, Jefferson Davis signs a law authorizing black men to serve under the Confederate Army. On April 9th, General Robert E. Lee surrendered to the Union General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. On April 14th, President Abraham Lincoln was shot and killed by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. On June 30th, 8 people were arrested for plotting to kill Abraham, and later on July 7th, they were executed for killing the president. On December 18th, the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery becomes part of the U.S. Constitution. That's all for 1865. Back to you, Carson.
Thank you, Hunter. As you can tell, a lot has happened throughout this Civil War. From Hunter to Lissa to Logan to Owen to Blake. Everything has happened that you would imagine. Now this ends our broadcast.
Hello, I'm Hunter Reed.
Can't do it, dude.
Okay. Starting off on March 2nd, Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated for a second term.
Hold on. We didn't have phones in 1865.
On April 9th, General helping Hello, I'm
On November 19th, Lincoln gave his Gettysburg Address.